Bad night. Don't get this bad. No, I've seen it this bad. Hey, oh, never mind. Oh, that kind they haven't. Meeting time. On the clue, green hat, there he goes. There's a whole bunch of them. So what do we need for nature? That's so. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Well, somebody now, that's all my God. Dog probably. Yeah. It's amazing how that they all so many ladies. That's not how that. Oh, I hate the thing. So Corey. We have that. Cheated on it. That would be fun. Nope. 5:34. It's telling you that. Yeah. Oh. Okay. 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 And I see. That's not. Oh, yeah. Right. What?
There we go. Hi. Welcome everyone. We'll start the meeting. I'll make a motion when we accept the minutes. Second. All in favor? Okay. Anything else on the payroll that you've seen? Already warrants?
Yeah, I looked through it. Okay.
It's all set.
So motion on that. We need to make a motion on the approval payroll. Or we just, I know we signed.
Yep. Animal control office. Residents on Blueberry Lane issues.
I finally got a statement, I called the DA, they told me to submit it to the office and they'll see what they put a prioritize on it. To look it over, and tell me what I need to do next.
Okay. Okay.
I got a letter that I want to.
Yep.
So send this to you.
Excuse me?
That,
Didn't first,
No. Move up front.
didn't use them last time, so I set them off at the
Come on,
top.
speak louder.
okay, you guys gotta be quiet, because we won't be able to hear me, you know. You got a letter from Lisa Herbert about this ongoing problem with the dogs down on Blueberry Lane. And I'm gonna read it to you so that everybody hears it and knows what's going on. This is a written statement telling basically what's happening. This written statement is being provided at the request of the animal control officer for the town of Brownfield, Maine, to address the frequent dogs at large on my 2-acre property located on 48 Blueberry Lane, Brownfield, Maine. All the dogs at large in this statement belong to Randy and Diane Burnell, who live next door at 56 Blueberry Lane, Brownfield, Maine, a property just over 10 acres. The neighborhood we live in is a small development with 9 homes, which include mine and the Burnells. The Burnells property is at the end of the cul-de-sac, right at the end of the road. Unfortunately, the Burnells' dogs have been at large regularly on my property, as well as that of my neighbors and other properties in town for years. This ACO, Animal Control Officer, and the Selectmen's office for the town of Brownfield have been aware of this ongoing issue, but has remained unresolved. I would like the ACO and the Selectmen representing the town of Brownfield to uphold the consequences set forth in the dog control ordinance for the town of Brownfield. And we do have an ordinance, as well as the state of Maine Department Agricultural Conservation and Forest. There's 2 laws that you got to deal with, depending on what Randy claims they're doing, I guess. Although there have been many incidents where I have reported that the Burnell's dogs, typically 1 to 6 dogs at a time, have been on my property, and the Burnells have been supposedly been contacted by the ACO, it has continued to be an issue. Unfortunately, I recently found out that the ACO, from the ACO, that the video images from our security camera that I have been sending her all along were no longer available to be viewed. I contacted their security company camera, the company that has their camera, who we have security agreement with, and they advised that the video images expire 30 days from the date of the recording, so there is no way to review them. Now that I know this, going forward, if the dogs at large continue on my property, I will save the videos to my cell phone and then forward them to the ACO. Just that whole letter is just basically to show you how, it's been going on. She's got a whole bunch of dates here and supposedly got the videos and whatever. On Wednesday, October 11th, the ACO told me that the Benels have not received any summons. I would like to know why, as I don't believe that this is in accordance with our town ordinance or state law. I would also like to see a copy of the ACO's report from all the incidents she has been contacted regarding the Benel's dogs at large. So you've been keeping control of this, and have you been keeping, account of all these? Okay. I would also like to know that the ACO was aware that the Benels were issued a notification of no trespassing from Maine Game Warden Lucas, I can't even pronounce his last name.
Elements.
Back on September 15th of 22. It was issued at my request per the new law. It has an expiration of 365 days from the date issued. In other words, you got to renew the fact that you don't want people hunting on your land every year. Unless you post it, I guess. All right. Recently, at my request, the warden issued a new no trespass notification to the Benels on October 13th of 23. I might as well read the rest of this. I feel the ACO and the town of Brownfield have been negligent in the handling of the dog at large with the Benels. The subject of the Benels dogs at large and constant barking has been brought to the board by myself and neighbors numerous times. Of note, a statement by myself was submitted to the Oxford County DA in 22. I learned last week that the file was closed in the late October of 22 because our ACO advised the DA's office that there was nothing new going on. In mid-October of 22, a confrontation took place in the street in front of my house between Mr. Bennell and I. Our ACO was also present because my neighbor across the street had contacted her about the dogs. I requested that a sheriff be dispatched to my house as the confrontation made me uncomfortable. Mr. Bennell and I were both told by the sheriff that if we could not find a way to conclude the conversation, we would be arrested for disorderly conduct. Mr. Bennell said I should act neighborly and contact him directly when his dogs are loose, not the authorities or Selectmen. Because I feared arrest, what's that?
Obliged.
Because I feared arrest, I obliged from that point until March 28th of 23. I had been only reaching out to Randy Bennell when his dogs were on my property. Because the occurrence continued from March 28 to 23 until July 2023, I notified both Randy and our ACO from July 20th to 23 to the current. I chose to only contact the ACO as I felt the continued issue was not resolving, but getting worse. So there's definitely, definitely got a problem. And she showed us some pictures of the dogs being out there and whatever. And I just wanted to bring it out in the public meeting because talking with Lisa and talking with some of the other neighbors and talking with the CEO one-on-one, going round and round, and it's not getting anywhere. So I want to bring that out so that we can hopefully take whatever steps we need to take, put a stop to it.
I would like to correct one thing. Paperwork you filed last week is on file, it's not closed. It's on file with DA, I talked to the DA's office, it's on file. And I asked him again today, and it's still on file. It is.
On file but closed. I can-
No, they said it's on file, I didn't say closed, nothing, say on file.
There is one other issue I want to bring up about this situation. And this is just hearsay, because I haven't proven it yet to whether it's true or not, but some people are claiming that that cul-de-sac at the end of Blueberry Lane belongs to Randy Bennell. Personally, I find that hard to believe because no one, you know, how the town accepts a road, they're not gonna accept the road with no place to turn trucks around. And like I said, I haven't found the facts yet, but we are looking into it and we will be finding out who owns that cul-de-sac. Because the reason I bring that up is because it's a technicality, but he claims that they're in that cul-de-sac. I guess they're still on his property.
That's what the selectmen found last year. I don't know how they found it, but that's what I was
I
told.
don't know, but I haven't seen it, so I need to see that. So that's that issue. You got anything to say about that?
No. No. See, Hannah came in. Yeah. I'm telling you. Would you like to explain the tax rate? Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa?
Just said something has to be done for this. Thank Frank for. But it goes to part of the, you know, just want to let everybody know that the game board has been involved and issued this resolution. Okay, and the dogs are now trespassing on my property if they're out there hunting. And they were issued on Friday. It happened again over the weekend, it happened yesterday, it happens again today, so. It's a disregard for authority, yeah. So I just want people to understand, I'm not trying to, you know, call out dogs at large. Per se, like your dog gets loose on me, it's people be looking for. Or where they are, so this is the problem. Door and they just roam crazy. They've been as far as this property here. And, yeah, seeing them, so it's not just mine. And we're not talking one. We're talking 6 or 7 all the time. And these are family pets. He has kennels that he houses hunting dogs. So, you know, I just wanted everyone to know that it's not one. And I have a video, they go right up to my back deck, they go to my front steps, they're all over my yard, and I have it. And I think that's fair to someone's dog in their house. And I'm not home, but I can see it on my camera that it's upsetting my. So, and for my grandchildren. You know, having 6 unfamiliar dogs coming out of children, it's not.
Cindy, if you haven't issued a ticket to Randy for dogs being loose,
I have to submit it to the DA, I told you this before, I have to. submit
you
it-
haven't issued a ticket, is what I asked.
I have to
Okay, you
submit
told me
it.
you were going to do that.
Huh?
You told me a while ago, if they did it again, you were gonna do that. That's
Yeah,
what you said.
no. I have to follow what the DA said because they're the ones who are gonna charge.
Well, aren't you in charge of writing the tickets before they go to the DA?
You have to submit everything, your findings to the DA, and they'll tell you what to do next. I called them, you can go ahead and call Joe. That's what I have to do, you have to do it in Cumberland County too, all the DAs are making you do this now.
Lisa?
We have a town ordinance. That clearly says what the ACO's job is. And I also have actually the job responsibilities of the ACO. And it says otherwise.
Well, town ordinance, the DA will not prosecute, that's up to the town lawyer,
That's right. And
that's up to the town lawyer.
that's it. We don't need one. Okay.
See. Under the Just,
Oh, training. Oh, you said training.
well, if they're trained, have to violation and no citation.
You don't train in the neighborhood.
It's. Town ordinance, look at.
Brian?
No. I do follow the law, I can't take them up. I have to follow what the law says, and I have to follow what you tell me to do.
Would you call tomorrow
That's game one.
and ask the DA if he's supposed to take it for?
The game one.
Hang on just a minute, hang on just a minute, this argument's not getting us anywhere,
Nope.
we are talking right now, we're gonna call the DA's office. Verify what she's saying. All we can do is take this one step at a time, because arguing back and forth is not gonna solve anything. I understand that. Maybe.
PJ?
Have the appropriate value there,
Right.
personnel matter,
Okay, we'll do what I want.
so it's not.
So,
It's a clarification of the issue. It's not a direct. Okay, we're done with that. Hannah?
Tim and straight this year. Just trying to look.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Bring something forward, and you got a stack of paper this thick, you got.
Yeah.
Sticky on it.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yep.
All right. Do we want to accept this the way it is right now? I mean,
I mean, it's what we have to do. I mean,
well, we gotta
No.
know, before we discuss it, we might as well decide if we're gonna accept it or
yeah,
not.
yeah. That's the only rate you can use, huh? That's it. I know when I left, it was a lot less than that.
Close one of them. But it created a increase in tax rate. So
Yeah.
instead of being 16.7 per thousand. It's gonna be at 17.80. So,
It's $1.05 increase.
Yep.
yeah.
And that was the article for $422,000 that they voted to raise. In case they got the loan to repair this building. So that's what did that.
There's any. Article 1. So.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave. So in general, throughout the town, did the value of properties go up?
It did, so we visited new houses, we visited everyone that got a building permit out in May. total valuation thus far of the town has increased. Yeah, so that did assist in keeping that tax rate lower. If we didn't have that valuation increase, it would have created a higher tax rate.
So do you have any idea on average, what it's gonna cost aside from the $1.05? Do you have any idea what that's gonna do on average for homes in the town?
The 100,000 increase. You guys. Just give us a little bit. Here's just.
She's opening through.
I hear you.
Yeah. Bruce?
After they initiated a tax freeze, did that get taken away, or what's the story behind this?
Yep, so the stabilization program, I'm sure most of you know about, was state induced in that the taxes will be frozen for those who signed up for the program. And that is in effect for this tax year, so your taxes will be frozen. The state will reimburse the town the difference between the increase for those properties. Next year is a different story. The state did change the program, and that it will now be through doing a state tax return. So you will have to file a tax return.
I got one question. Who's gonna get a tax bill?
As soon as they sign.
Yep. Yep. You'll probably have it in the mail next week.
Indeed.
Yep.
They'll be posted to the web also as quickly as we can get them. No, but other people might.
Good.
You want about tax? Have to meet in order to qualify for the tax freeze, or do you just have to apply?
You have to qualify, so you have to be, I think it's 60. Most, plaintiffs.
Okay.
So if we stop down at the office, you can tell us what you were going to do.
So, two things, Hannah. How many properties are there in the county?
Total properties, I don't know that answer, but total properties that have buildings on them is 1,104.
And it's $5 million that the valuation went up. And,
This one here.
Garages. Additions. Furnace board.
and for the freeze, don't you have to be a resident of Maine for 10 years also?
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
Yep, over here. Look at it. Yep, you.
The dog.
Yes.
So.
Thank you.
Let's get to see the face now, Brian.
Evaluation.
Can you speak about parameters?
Yeah. Yeah, so for a homestead exemption, you have to be a resident of Maine. You need to have owned the house for a year starting. And that's it, yeah. Either right to vote or.
Bob, you have anything?
Yeah, 1,611 total parcel. Fair number of acre park. And it's pretty much tough. And so the other thing that is possible temporary relief for some people, something called a poverty abatement, where somebody is, the skids temporarily, they get that's something that goes directly through the select board, so that we will want. It's something that's kept confidential. That's why it doesn't go through the assessor's office. Everything we do has to be available to the public exams. If there's a confidence. Get a hold of value, we should take care of it.
The tax discount for veterans, that's through the state.
The homestead and veterans are very similar, it's the same thing, it's allocated to us by the state, but we as the local assessors assess it. The difficulty is when you have an assessment ratio and you keep dropping, we have to drop the amount of exemption by our assessment ratio. This came here from the selectmen's meeting in Porter, your assessment ratio was 61%. So instead of getting $6,000 homestead veterans exemption, they're going to get a $3,600 veterans exemption. Same thing with the homestead. At 100, if we're at 100% market value, you get a $25,000 exemption. Down there, maybe 16,000. Goes down because of the assessment ratio. And that's one of the two reasons why we're doing this. The other thing is the reason we're doing this whole thing to make sure that the data that we have on this property is accurate. Some people have done construction and not gone through the permitting process. Other people, their houses have actually depreciated quite a bit, and there's been no recognition of it. We should do that. So that's the kind of thing we're working with them.
And about this, the homestead rebate have to be applied for every year?
No, homesteads at one time. We can apply for that, we just put in a database until you move. And when you notice that you move because of the transfer, it'll get removed, and if you do move to another town, you should reapply for it.
Okay.
So is everybody clear on the rate, 1780 per thousand?
I do want to make one minor comment about that. Hannah and I together are the assessments here, but we are also in Cornish and in Porter and in Denmark and in Freiburg. Okay, and it according to the math, I think going up 5.5%. Is that what the last number was? The tax rate. So I can tell you that in Cornish, the tax rate went up 6%. And then in Porter and in Denmark, it went up 7%. And in Freiburg, it went up 8%. So misery loves company. I want you to know that you're not alone in this. It's not like everybody else has got a flat tax.
Yeah.
Does this have any impact on school funding?
No.
School funding has impacted this. So school funding is part of the calculation to get to your tax rates. Because it's funded by the townspeople, so that it has to be split by the townspeople.
Can you tell me a little bit about this article that was 400 and whatever, many $1,000? Something about a loan on.
No, when Joe went to was applying for the grant to work on this building,
Yeah.
you have to have 25% upfront to be able to do that. So the people voted to put that money there, even though we haven't got the application or anything done yet. So that's what's happening.
And not
It goes to surplus.
do such tax rate on the year.
Yep.
How many years is it tied up?
It's
How
only,
many years does it take to get this grant?
well, you're probably looking at it 2 years anyways. It's like the firehouse, they've been working on that quite a while. It just, you have to wait for all the appropriations committees, all You know, typical government red tape.
I just. A year or 10 years,
You're gonna be 2, possibly 3.
thank you.
Joe?
Dick, with that article, it was supposed if, a grant was received, would the town be willing to contribute 25% of that? I'm just using round numbers, 1.7 million. So since we haven't applied, does that, and we're not, as of right now, we're not going to, and have no intentions to, especially, you know, until we find out what's happening with the firehouse, which may not know that till the end of next year. Wouldn't that mean we wouldn't have to include that number of $400,000 as part of the taxes?
We asked that to the lawyer, and he said because the way it was worded, that it had to be added to this year.
I would like to remind you that I did ask you about that because we knew we had the fire department grant applied for and possibly that we were gonna get it, Joe. And you said, I want this article in the warrant.
Oh, I did,
Yep.
no question about that. But, nobody brought up that this would be included in the taxes. It just seems kind of far-fetched, even with what the attorney said. You know, why would we have to account for something that, number one, we don't have, and number two, we know we're not gonna have for the next year? It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, you can put a article in next year to turn it towards the firehouse until next one comes along. And then, because it's already done, you already pulled that money out. So we could do that, put an article in, turn it towards the firehouse for the next time.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me, but, you know, we can continue the conversation.
Yep.
I'm just surprised to hear that.
Okay, we're all set with this. Let's move on to the next thing.
Before we move on,
Yeah,
so we decided that this is what it's gonna,
that's the rate.
all right, I make a motion that we accept this for the way it's written.
I'll second it. All in favor? There you go.
Really?
That's done. Okay. All right. One more thing, Bruce. That's it.
I'm used to that.
I know.
That it was spending money like a drunken sailor.
Mhm.
Now it's coming back to fruition. I hope the people know what they voted on now. They've been kept in the dark a lot.
Yep. Yep.
So who's gonna enlighten them? I think they're being kept in the dark.
That article was brought forward to us. It wasn't our article.
No, it was brought to you.
Yeah, it was brought to us, so. All right, let's get out of this one. We get quite a bit to go on. Thank you. Thank you. So,
All right, I go back to the talking again, man.
yep,
I just wanna say that the Oxford County Board of Commissions are looking into the feasibility of establishing a regional animal control office.
State agent,
Is what?
state agent for Oxford County,
Right,
become the whole Oxford County community now.
but I just wanted to say it because that's what they're looking.
What does that mean?
I don't have no idea. They're just looking in.
Their cases, they have more. They get, no, they have, they're ready for the state, they go to the state every day, for, I think her name is Rachel. Don't quote me, her name is Rachel, they get a state,
we've already done this animal control thing. We started another mess.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know the state's working on it. They haven't given us any information on what's gonna happen,
Yes.
so. We have a correspondence from Cindy Willits regarding the interest on her taxes. Also a deposit she said was made on May 9th, 23, and Wanda's looking into that. So there's kind of something going on there that it's not settled, and I assume that Wanda and her is gonna settle it.
Yep. We wanted the thing that wanted to settle it last.
Uh. I don't care to read that whole thing. But I do wanna bring up the fact that. Let me see. We. We have a email from a lawyer's office to do with this Article 6 and 7 at the town meeting, because there's certain group of people here in town took on themselves to hire a lawyer, it seems, to prove that the selectmen are not handling this legally, but according to our lawyer, we are. So I'm not gonna read, I mean, it goes on and on and on. I don't know if you wanna read any of this at all. No. Has to do with the articles that we're putting on the referendum. They, this, I'm gonna just say a group of people hired a lawyer. And they sent us a letter basically saying that we are doing it, we're not doing it properly because we didn't have the proper, what does he call it, hearings?
Yeah.
Hearings before. But like I just said, we contacted our lawyer and had him go over what we did, and he said what we did was perfectly all right. So I don't know exactly how it's gonna come out, but.
Say that you're putting in.
Those are the four articles you're gonna vote on.
Those four articles we're putting on the referendum. Has to do with the position of the tax collector treasurer. You know, right now it's elected, and the articles is to see if the town wants to change it to appointed. That's one article. The second article is to do with the clerk and registrar, same deal. She's elected at the time, and you want to change it to appointed. And the third article is about creating a committee of 4 people to be on a board to find, you know, to hire
A hiring committee.
the hiring.
Yeah.
And then there's the last article is to do with correcting an additional typo on the CEO's. Is it?
ACO.
Yeah, I always get, sorry. The ACO's pay scale, so we're just trying to correct that. That's what the article.
Okay, the copy gonna be made available to the public on the document anymore.
Should be, everything here is.
With your phone.
No, this is all public,
Anybody can get a copy.
Yep.
yes.
Now, are those articles that you just mentioned, are they published anywhere? So I looked on the website and I didn't see those articles. That was where
I think she would have put them on there, but I will double check and make sure they are.
I didn't see them there.
You can get an absentee ballot through the website, so.
Yeah.
I think that it is, but.
Yeah.
It should be somewhere, but
I agree.
What if I read this first page and it was So
Yeah,
people
just
know what's going on.
in the right
Then that's not the truth.
I know it's true, they're saying,
Yeah, we didn't write, no, we didn't write that, no, no,
that's it.
yeah, all right. Terry?
Just wish to ask why articles that were voted on in town meeting by the legislative body in this town, who decided they should be repealed, rewritten, and revoted with a different intent from what the original articles were?
Because the original article was outside, the amendment was outside the original article's spec. The other articles were all put back in the way they were. We changed the amendment to fit the article.
Were articles, so they have a different intent from the originally written articles. The original article said that those positions would be appointed, it didn't say appointed by the select board. And the amendment said that there would be a hiring committee made up of 4 members, full residents elected at large, who would have an equal say along the select board as part of that hiring committee.
Yep.
And
And
those amendments.
that amendment was outside the realm of the original article. Yeah.
Changed to then say the select board do the appointment. Hiring committee be appointed by the select board, so it gave all the power to the select board instead of to the people of the community.
Well, there's a certain group that's trying to take all the power. If they took that 4 people, they voted those 4 people who could overrun the selectmen and not get the right person for that job, and that's not equal, that's not fair to the town of Brownfield.
She's saying.
No, but be.
There's gonna be a mix of people on this committee. You don't know how we're gonna pick it. You're making accusations of how we're gonna pick it. Which we are gonna pick what's the best group for the town of everybody to make this work.
Legislative body said.
Again, it was outside the realm of the article. I'm telling her answers. One more time, you're going, we'll be done.
And you didn't share that language until the absentee ballots were printed. When we put the comprehensive plan on the referendum, we were told unequivocally that you need that language 60 days in advance. That language had to be made public. You had to have a public hearing, so there was input. None of that happened for these referendum. Why did it not?
That's a totally different animal for making an ordinance, this is to making an article.
And we have to follow different rules. Why did you not follow the same rules? Why was it kept a secret so that people
It
should?
wasn't kept a secret. If
And you're surprised.
you came to the selectmen meeting and you heard what we're doing, it wasn't kept a secret. Bruce?
Deemed illegal, so over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It was not deemed illegal.
Yes, it was.
It was not, you go back and look at the attorney's letter.
Joe?
Next thing, I'm Joe Egan, and I'm one of the people who hired the attorney. And first of all, the intent of the amendments, legal, illegal, the intent of the amendments was to make sure that there was a body of people who were going to select the treasurer and the clerk. And the reason that the people who voted for that amendment at the annual town meeting wanted that, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way, but whether it's the current select board, whether it was previous select board, whether even if I was a select board member, I wouldn't want them or myself making that decision regarding treasurer. Because what do we know about selecting a treasurer? There's people in this town who have had corporate finance careers, they've had banking careers, they've had accounting careers, and they would be invaluable in making that choice. And I think it would be in the best interest of everybody in this town if those 4 people could be elected and work with the select board in picking someone. Now, the second part to that is The reason why I'm adamant about that is because at least two of these select board members, when it came time to pick a person to fill the planning board seat that was vacated by Deb Merrill, there were two candidates. One was Eric Glover, and one was Carrie Garland. Carrie Garland had just moved into the town. Dick raised a piece of paper in the air and said she has a resume. Well, that's all well and good. When I asked Dick how long she lived here, he didn't know that. And so in my opinion, I don't feel comfortable having the select board be the sole reasoning, or the sole source for selecting treasurer or a clerk. And I think it's important that the intent of that amendment that was added be followed, and it wasn't. We can get two attorneys in here and they can argue about 60 days, 30 days, 45 days, whatever it is. Will we get it resolved? I don't know, but the select board, when they rewrote the articles, did not follow the intent of the legislative body. That's all of us, as far as having that committee. So that's the reason in a nutshell.
Haley? Good.
When did I move into town?
As a full-time resident.
What's the relevance?
Because you just said Carrie doesn't. That's your part of.
I'll tell you, we moved in August 2019. Don't forget it. I'm gonna.
Okay. He's going to fire door. What if we make motor about
She lived in
Huh?
And why did she move into the town?
Yeah.
Do you want to get this question?
All right, Haley. Haley, wait, not gonna make it. Bruce, please. Can you quiet down? Bruce?
You moved into town for one reason is, one of the reasons that it has the most purest form of government. Is that correct?
No, because I didn't know what form of government was till I moved here. When I found out, I was surprised and thought it was correct.
Well, all I'm saying is you're a newbie and you're trying to change the way things were.
No,
You never heard of that. I haven't heard.
All right.
Why?
Let Bruce speak.
sorry.
It's just that they move into town because it's a same form of government. As soon as they get here, they wanna change it. We gotta change it. That's not right.
A lot of people that way. Great days. Terry?
Form of government that. The legislative body is the town meeting. The town meeting made a decision, they voted on something. Not following. The other thing I'd like to ask is, where's our third selectman, John next? Yeah.
He's at the Oxford County Budget Committee, which he is elected to go to.
John said, I want to run for select. Brownfield. Select board has no power. Power lies with the people of the town, and that's why I think I should be representing. This directly goes against all, because the people voted, and the select board decided they wanted something different. They rewrote the articles. People should vote those articles out.
Just so people here do know. The article in the Brownfield newsletter is not sanctioned by the selectmen or the town at all. Just so people know that. Okay, so I guess we're done. You make a motion?
Yeah, I just want to make one more. You want to make one more point? The attorney from the town recommended that the best way to handle this was to have a special town meeting. Which means that the select board can call that special town meeting, because, let's just go back and be fair, question was raised, were the amendments legal? Were they illegal? Neither the town attorney, nor the MMA, nor the attorney we hired said that they were illegal. The town attorney recommended having a special town meeting, rewriting the articles, said having 2 articles, have 3. 1, to make the treasurer's office appointed. 2, to make the clerk's office appointed. 3, to have a hiring committee. Hiring committee as far as the intent of the amendment, and then that would resolve everything. That didn't happen. Now it's a referendum. Now there's questions about whether it's legal or not. And we've been advised that if the 3 articles pass, then they can be challenged in court. If they're challenged in court, it's going to cost this town approximately $40,000 for each attorney, town attorney and our attorney. And I'm going to tell you, and this is my opinion, and I think we're going to be successful with that outcome.
No, you're right.
Joe, he said that you could do it by special town meeting or on an election. That's what he said. So you twisted it around, so it's wrong.
Not in the documents I was given.
Okay.
So I'm not.
Makes sense.
I don't wanna drag this out, but after all this discussion, I think I should read the article that he's so concerned about. And I'm gonna stand up. To see if the town will vote to create an advisory hiring committee consisting of 3 select board members and 4 citizens appointed by the select board in choosing the most qualified candidate for the position of tax collector treasurer and town clerk registrar, and a job description for these positions to be established by the committee. Committee members should have some business experience. Now, to me, I don't see a problem with it, because if we have a committee and if the selectmen are not gonna pick somebody else that they didn't recommend. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna listen, in my opinion, we're gonna listen to who. I've always said I'll take all the help I can get, all right? So if we listen to these people and they say, we recommend so-and-so, we're not gonna throw that out and hire somebody that just because we know them or whatever the case may be, because otherwise they could hang us out to dry for sure. Go ahead. Well, that's up to you.
Yeah. I will say that even if you had a hiring committee the way that was written up, it still comes down to the 3 selectmen signing that contract with that person, those people. So it's still on the selectmen's shoulders, no matter how you do it.
No.
Steve?
So the big difference that I see is that proposed referendum article has the word advisory. And the town meeting vote does not. The word advisory means that it is a group of people that might suggest something, but not necessarily be listened to. That's what I mean.
If you want to look at the negative direction, yeah. Okay.
Well, based on their attorney letter, this is what he said to me when he called yesterday.
Yeah, they run the same risk. Yeah. Either way, if with the meeting we do it or a special town meeting, you run the same risk of whoever you vote for. It's the same thing. You just get more people to vote when you have a major election than you do at a special town meeting. Our town meeting had 153 people, right?
Not quite that many.
Not quite that many. So it wasn't a lot compared to the amount of people in the town. Joe?
You've had that option before you decided to present it at the town meeting. And that's precisely why we wanted the comprehensive plan to go to a referendum vote, because more people show up and vote. So you could have done that. You could have done that before you sent it to the annual town meeting. You can't go backwards and say, okay, now that we have the chance to reword this, let's reword it in our favor.
I don't think it's in anybody's favor except for the town, but that's my own opinion. You ready?
Yeah,
Make a motion.
I make a motion that. What?
Steve has his hand up,
All right, go ahead.
sorry.
I think it's a little unfair to equate not many people in relation to the number of voting members in the town, being in a town, we need to vote for something. When in the past, there's been many town meetings where there's been a very small turnout that's voted for whatever it is. And nobody else is coming back and say, oh, well, there were not enough people there. So you can't, please don't use that as a reason why now we have this.
Well, Steve, we can use the comprehensive plan as that, because it gets voted down, you bring it back, it gets voted down, you bring it back, it's the same thing that's happened. So it's not changing anything. You know, that's the way it's been, it's the way it's been in the town, so. All right, make one.
Okay, I'm making motion to close the meeting.
Second, all in favor, done, meeting adjourned.
It's over.
But it's still good.
Look at it, look at it.
Said something to offend somebody,
You-
glad.
I know.